Hello, this is a video on how to update your firmware on Spirent TestCenter. My name is John Schubert, and real quickly, we're going to go over the easy steps to upgrade a chassis or appliance with the newest version of Spirent TestCenter. So what I've done is I've started from support.spirent.com. I came down, selected downloads, and then the first thing you're going to do is go to either general release or archived release. So in this case, let's try a slightly older version. Right now we're on 5.09. So this can bring up earlier versions of the software. You want to go to the product line, which in this case will be Spirent TestCenter. From here, you want to select firmware. At this point, we're going to jump over here to what release it is that we want to download. So in this case, I'm going to 5.07 because at the current time, this is the last version that includes Avalanche. Avalanche and Spirent TestCenter are on a different release cycle than each other. So although Spirent TestCenter is on 5.09, Avalanche, which is included in the software and firmware, is currently at 5.07. So from here, I would come over here to Spirent TestCenter firmware for C1. The C1 is what I'm using right now for an update, and click on the download icon here. I like to use Google Chrome because then you can bring up another tab, and if you don't have this, you can come over here, click the three dots, and go to downloads, and this comes up, and then you can watch it as it downloads, watch the status, see the speed at which it's downloading. So I don't know, to me it's just more friendly and easier to use. So at that point, when it's done, it's going to give you a zip file. So what you're going to do with the zip file is open it up and then extract it. So whenever you extract all, you'll be presented with all of these files. You're now ready to go into the chassis and update it. The general rule of thumb is you want to update with the current or newer version of Spirent TestCenter. So for example, this chassis that I'm getting ready to update is on 5.01, and I want to take it to 5.07. So I would not use 5.00 to update this. I would use 5.01 as a least favorable option, and preferably you want to connect to it with the version that you're upgrading to, in this case 5.07. So once you launch Spirent TestCenter, you want to connect to the chassis. So I've already connected, so I'll just disconnect for the sake of the demo. So we'll go in and we'll reserve this guy, and it's going to be the .250. And it's complaining because right now it's got Avalanche loaded, but that's okay. So we'll hit OK. We'll go into Tools, Firmware Management. In this case, you want to go to this last option, hit Install, and then browse to the folder. So in this case, I put it within a subfolder, STC firmware, the version that it is, and then the actual file, and then that's where I extracted it. So you're gonna hit OK, and then you should be able to come down and see the file here. So it's telling me 5.01 is currently installed, and you can see that we're taking it to 5.07. Once you've done that, click Install. It's gonna give you a warning here that it can take 15 to 45 minutes. It's generally right in the middle of that, but it's going to vary based on your module and cards. In some cases, like the N4U or others, in the instructions, they do mention that it will upgrade faster if you have removed the cards. So it's just updating the firmware of the chassis at that point in time. With the C1, that's not really applicable. So once you hit the authentication button to begin, then you'll see this starts to download, and you'll watch it increment gradually. And like I said earlier, this will take about 10 to 15 minutes. So once it's done, the chassis will reboot. Generally what I do is then I'll close out the Spirent TestCenter application and restart it. And at that point, now I'm on the new firmware. So in this case, I'm taking it from 5.01 to 5.07. So thanks for your time and have a great day.